Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Investing with Confidence, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. We mentioned the word investing. That's exactly what we're going to talk about here today. Investing, trading with the stock market or other markets, options, futures, Forex, cryptocurrency, whatever that you like to trade or invest with. We're going to talk about and discuss different techniques and strategies about that. Our sponsor, Online Trading Academy, on their 25th year, teaching people just like you how to get started. So if you're brand new to the market, how to start in the right place. Or maybe you've been trading for many years, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and just looking to get a boost. I am your host, Joshua David, and we are happy to have you with us today. I do have my good friend and my good pal. He is the one and the only Mr. Al Connickson. Al, how are you doing today?
You know, I feel pretty good, Josh. How about you?
I'm feeling pretty good. We are always feeling good because we are always talking about stocks. We are always talking about investing and trading.
That.
But the great part about it, Al, is we are helping our listeners make smarter investing decisions. And that's what I want to talk about here today is how to move forward from today to make smart investing decisions with a lot of the great volatility that we're seeing right now. Increased volatility, which means a lot of action, a lot of movement with the stock market, which is what you want as a trader or an investor. We have a lot of things going on in the world right now. We got talks in Taiwan. We know what's happening in Taiwan this week. We have more earnings coming out, and just stocks in general have been down a lot on the year. We've seen a slight retracement up to that supply zone that we had talked about, which is correlating with that demand zone with the U.S. dollar, and we know what happened with those zones this week. Now, that's what I want to cover here today is about supply and demand,
right,
how the financial market actually works, how the stock market works, how it moves, why it moves, and how do you help our listeners here at Online Trading Academy make smarter investing decisions?
Well, you know, you mentioned supply and demand zones, and we'll talk about that throughout the day here. The other thing you mentioned, you started out by talking about the stock market, the option market, the futures market, the Forex market, the crypto market. Those are all different assets, and most people, when you listen to a financial source, whether it's a webinar, go to a seminar, whatever it is, they talk about one asset because that's all they deal with.
Correct.
At the Online Trading Academy, we have access to people that trade all of these that provide education for them. So let me talk about this first. The people that are listening all have a reason for looking at the market. And it may be a different reason for one person and a different reason for the person sitting next to them. But, you know, whatever the reason is, you need to make investments and trades that are successful, right? And what's a successful trade or investment regardless of what your goal? If you're buying something, the price has to go up in value for it to be successful. If you're selling, you need to have the price go down in order for it to be successful. So if there was somebody that essentially made price go up and made price go down, wouldn't it be beneficial to you to be able to follow that person? Absolutely. And who is that person? Well, it may not be a person. It could be someone like Warren Buffett, or it could be a company like Goldman Sachs or a hedge fund manager. These are the people that are active in the market on a regular basis with enough money, with enough clout to move the price. So that's how you become successful. You follow them. How do you do that? Well, you use a strategy, a foundational investment strategy that's built around their activity, and one that takes advantage of what they're going to show us, what they're showing us in advance, and that's really key. What are they going to do before they do it? Because once their activity has taken place, too much of the movement is gone. You may have missed out on the majority of the profit potential, or you may have missed out on the opportunity at all. But so we need to find out what they're going to do before they do it. That strategy needs to be accurate in identifying that. And then it takes advantage of one of the problems that those big people have, the big players have when they're making a trade, whether they're getting into it or getting out of it. And that's one of the things that our strategy allows us to benefit from. So, and when you come into these classes that Josh will be talking about, we will talk about that. We'll show you how the core strategy, that's our foundational strategy, how that works, how it's able to follow what the big players are doing with a high degree of accuracy, giving you the opportunity to make trades and investments that are not only low risk but high profit potential.
Yeah, so when you say follow the activity, we're looking for the big money that's moving the market. In that perk that we have as retail investors, is we're a small investor. Whether
That's
you
right.
have $500, $5,000, $500,000, $5 million, $50 million, probably can't really move the market. So think as the public as we're mice in the markets, and we want to take pieces of a cheese as the institutions are moving the markets, because the big money is what does that.
Correct.
That's why it's important to us to find out what they're doing and then essentially do what they do. Follow. It's kind of like jumping on their coattails and riding along with them.
Exactly.
And that's the key. And I know in the next segment here, so stay tuned, I do want to talk about where you find that information. How do you get that information as far as where the institutions are buying and selling? It's not out of a book. It's not out of the University of YouTube, which is worse. It's in a place where it doesn't lie. It's actually facts in the market. And I want you to talk about that in that next segment. Yep. So don't make sure to write that down now so we don't forget. Talk about where you find that data from. But if you want to learn more about how the institutions are actually moving the markets, why the big money, why is it the big money that moves the market and not the public? We have these investing classes, as Al was talking about, at our sponsor, Online Trading Academy. They've been teaching people just like you for 25 years how to make smart investing decisions in the markets. As I kicked off the show, stock market. If you're looking for education and skill building on the options market, futures, Forex, cryptocurrency, maybe those are new markets you haven't heard about. Al, let's discuss that coming up in the next couple segments here as well. But I do want to give away some tickets. We've had a lot of people over the past couple weeks come into these investing classes from the radio program. We got several different areas where listeners of listening to the program. If you're listening to the show right now, we have a class near you, and these are actually physical classes to learn how the markets are working. I actually ask a lot of people when they come to these classes, what brought you in? Why are you looking at the markets, and why are you here? Well, one of the things, Al, I've been seeing is people wanted a physical place to go to learn how to trade and invest. You can't really get education. You can get education, but you can't build skills by reading a book or watching a webinar, as you were talking about, Al. So these classes are physical at our academies. Get your phones ready. I'm going to give a text number so you can text in for 2 tickets, but you're also going to receive a quick start kit, and this kit will actually help you get started right away. Text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's text investing to the number 210-210, and this is for 2 tickets. Most people bring their spouse with or one of their immediate family members. You're also going to receive that quick start kit, which will help you get started right away. So, Al, coming up next, as I mentioned, I did not forget. I want to talk about where you're alluding to. Where do you find that information from to follow those institutions to make those smart investing decisions? So coming up next, we're going to talk about that. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 tickets. This is Josh and Al, Investing with Confidence. We will be right back.